Hello students, welcome to the session. So in our previous session we have discussed about the Archimedes principle. Now we shall use this Archimedes principle to find out the condition when an object will float in a liquid, when an object will sink in a liquid, and when an object will stay in equilibrium in a liquid. Okay, so we will find out three conditions here. So let us discuss the conditions one by one. So the first condition is condition for an object to sink in a liquid. Condition for an object to sink in a liquid. So suppose we consider a liquid of density sigma. Let sigma equal to density of a liquid. Now in this liquid we immerse a solid, suppose of mass m. So let rho be the density of a solid. Now what are the forces that are acting on the solid? Let us see what are the forces that are acting on the solid. So first is the weight which is acting vertically downward, and what is this? In the upward direction the object will experience the solid will experience a buoyant force. So we can say, now since the object settles down, we can say that the weight should be greater than the buoyant force. Only then it is possible. Only when the weight is greater than the buoyant force, the object will sink at the bottom of the liquid. So we can say that since the object sinks, mg, that is the weight of the solid, will be greater than the buoyant force. Now weight of the solid means m, the mass of the solid into acceleration due to gravity. So what is m? Mass, which is volume into density of the solid, g greater than Fb. From Archimedes principle we have already derived the expression for the buoyant force. It is what? V sigma g. This one we have derived in our previous session. So it is V rho g greater than V sigma g. So Vg gets cancelled. So it will be rho greater than sigma. Clear? So when does an object sink in a liquid? An object will sink in a liquid when its density is greater than the density of the liquid. So we can say the density of solid is greater than the density of liquid. Okay, so this is the first condition for an object sinking in a liquid. Clear? Now the next condition is number 2, to float on a liquid. Now in this case the diagram will be little bit different. These are same. Sigma we have taken the density of liquid, rho we have taken the density of solid. So here we draw the solid here. That means the object is the object floats on the surface. So this is the weight that is acting downward and the buoyant force which is acting in the upward direction. So since the object floats, we can say that the buoyant force is greater than the weight, or buoyant force is V sigma g, which is greater than V rho g. So same case, V and g gets cancelled, so it will be sigma greater than rho. So whenever the density of the liquid is greater than the density of the solid will float on the surface of the liquid. So here the density of liquid is greater than the density of solid. Okay, so this is the second condition. Now the next condition is condition for an object to be in equilibrium. So have you ever seen ice floating on the surface of a liquid? If you have not seen, you can try it at your home. You will see that when you place an ice on the surface of a liquid, on the surface of water, what happens? The whole body of ice will be inside the water, but it will stay on the surface. It will not sink. It will not sink, but the entire body will sink. Understood? So here, if for this substance M, if it is in equilibrium, this is called the condition of equilibrium. This is the weight of the object, and in the upward direction is the buoyant force. Now since the object is in equilibrium, we can say that the buoyant force is equal to the weight. That means this is only possible when the buoyant force and the weight will be equal. So, or we can say V sigma g will be equal to V rho g, or sigma equal to rho. That means the density of the liquid will be equal to the density of solid. So we can say ice and water have same density. For that reason, ice will be in equilibrium, okay, when placed on the surface of water. Clear? Now the next is we will discuss a question related to this condition. The question is, why does a large ship float on water, but a small iron nail sinks? So this is quite obvious that a large ship stays on the surface of water, but a small iron nail, if you place it on the surface of water, it will sink. Okay, so why is it happening? So suppose we consider a ship on the surface. Now if you consider this ship, remember one thing, that inside the ship the space is hollow. That means it is filled with air. So what happens? The density of the ship becomes very less compared to the density of water. If density of the ship is rho s and the density of water is rho w, then in this case, since the ship is hollow inside, we can say that the density of ship is less than the density of water, since ship is hollow inside, means that is filled up with air, and air has a very less density. So density of ship is less than the density of water. Therefore ship floats. Now if you consider an iron nail, rho, suppose I. In case of iron nail, the density of iron is always greater than the density of water. So here what happens? Since the density of iron is greater than the density of water, therefore iron nail sinks. So I hope this part is clear to you. Okay, so what you will do is you will write this in statement. Okay, not like this. You can use these things, but you have to write statement also. I have already explained this to you. You just have to write it in statement. Clear? So now we will write the definition of density. Okay, we have already discussed about density. Just write the definition of density. So what is density? Density is what? It is the mass per unit volume of a substance. It is the mass per unit volume of a substance. So we can say that density rho, generally denoted by rho, is equal to mass by volume. So what is its SI unit? Its SI unit, we know mass is kg per, what is volume? It is SI unit of volume is meter cube, so kg per meter cube. What will be its CGS unit? The CGS unit will be gram per centimeter cube. Now one thing you should remember, you should always remember the density of water, because it is very common. You should remember the density of water. So density of water is equal to 1 gram per centimeter cube or 1000 kg per meter cube. One more thing that you should remember is the relation between liter and centimeter cube. Okay, both are the units of volume. So you should remember the relation between liter and centimeter cube. So 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. This is the relation between liter and centimeter cube. You might get this in the numerical. Clear? Now we shall discuss another new term which is called relative density. So what is relative density? I have already written it down. It is the ratio of the density of a substance to the density of water at 4 degree centigrade. Okay, this is called relative density. It is the ratio of the density of a substance to the density of water at 4 degree centigrade. So we can say that relative density is equal to density of the substance. Suppose I take this as rho divided by density of water at 4 degrees centigrade. Why we take 4 degrees centigrade? Because remember, at 4 degrees centigrade water acquires the maximum density. So it is rho by rho w at 4 degree centigrade. So what will be its unit? Since relative density is the ratio of the densities, isn't it, the density of substance by the density of water, so it will not have unit, because if the unit here is kg per meter cube, here also it will be kg per meter cube, so both will get cancelled, so it will not have any unit. So we can say SI unit, it has no unit, it has no unit, and it is a pure number. It is just a number, it does not have any unit. Okay, so we have already got the expression for relative density, which is rho by rho w at 4 degrees centigrade. There is another one expression, and this expression of relative density can be found using the Archimedes principle. So we will find out another expression for relative density. So now see here, expression for relative density. Relative density, as we know, it is density of the substance or density of an object to the density of water. Okay, so here this one we can write as, what is the expression for density? Density is mass by volume divided by mass of water by equal volume. Means if I take V as the volume of the substance, I will take V as for the volume of as the volume of water also. That means we will keep the volume equal. So if we keep the volume equal, then volume gets cancelled. So it will be mass of the object divided by mass of equal volume of water. So we can say this one as, in statement we can write mass of the object by mass of equal volume of water. Okay, now if we multiply numerator and denominator of this one with small g, that is acceleration due to gravity, what we will get? Mass of water into small g divided by mass of equal volume of water into small g. I have just multiplied the numerator and the denominator with small g. So this is equal to, we know mass into acceleration due to gravity is weight. So this one will be weight of water. Now weight of object, this is mass of object. So this one will be mass of object, weight of object divided by weight of equal volume of water. Weight of object by weight of equal volume of water. Now we will apply the Archimedes principle here. Okay, so here suppose this is W, the weight of the object. Actually this weight of the object means weight of the object in air. Okay, weight of the object in air. Now suppose here you see this one. Suppose I consider that this object is immersed in water. So this one will be weight, the actual weight, which is weight of the object in air, and in the upward direction will be the buoyant force. In the upward direction it is the buoyant force. Now if you see this one, weight of the object in air, this is here W air, and weight of equal volume of water. You remember that weight of the liquid displaced is nothing but the buoyant force, as we know from Archimedes principle. From Archimedes principle we have already learnt that the weight of liquid displaced, here it is the water that is displaced by the solid. So weight of equal volume of water, that means it is the volume of water that is displaced by the object. So weight of equal volume of water is nothing but the buoyant force. So here this weight of equal volume of water, this one we can write, it is equal to the buoyant force. Okay, so weight of the object W air, weight of equal volume of water, that is the buoyant force. Now let us see the relation here. The buoyant force is acting upward, the weight of the object in air, it is acting downward. So weight of the object in water, remember this W is not the weight of water, it is the weight of the object in water. Okay, it will be equal to the resultant, that means weight of the object in air minus the buoyant force. Little bit confusing, try to understand. Weight of the object means when we immerse it in in a liquid, what happens? The object loses some weight. Why it loses some weight? Because the buoyant force is acting in the upward direction. So the resultant weight, how much weight, or apparent weight, you can say the apparent weight will be the actual weight, that is the weight of the object in air, minus the buoyant force which is acting in the upward direction. Okay, so the buoyant force will be given by weight of the object in air minus weight of the object in water. Okay, so here we can write this one as weight of the object in air divided by weight, that is the buoyant force, can be written as weight of the object in air, weight of the object in air minus weight of the object in water. So this is another expression. So we can say, using Archimedes principle, we can say that relative density is equal to weight of the object in air divided by weight of the object in air minus weight of the object in water. Okay, so this is the other expression for relative density using the Archimedes principle. So with this we have come to the end of all the topics related to gravitation chapter. Okay, in the next session we will do some problems, some questions related to Archimedes principle. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.